do a quick live stream. Okay. Holy shit, that was amazing. I can't believe it. We have an intro that, like, what in the world?
You know what?
You guys.
Bigger clap.
Right?
Bigger clap. I started with a small one because I was like, what? Now I'm like, mm-hmm.
We doing the damn thing, you guys. Up. All right. So welcome, you guys. Welcome. We are kicking off our very first episode of Notorious, where we're featuring women in mortgage that are going to our event in October in Austin. It'll be October 13th through the 16th. You guys can go to notoriouswmn.com to learn all about it. But so much that I have learned in life have come through other women within my network. So at this event, it's not just what's going to be on stage, but it's sitting next to somebody like our guest today and getting the golden pieces of information that helped her build her business and build her career. Like, these are the secrets that we don't necessarily tell people. And so I wanted to bring these incredible women to the forefront and highlight them so you guys can get the fast track to success in your business. So today we have my friend Chenine Lozano here. We actually go way back prior to like our own path here recently in mortgage. We've known each other directly, indirectly for a really long time. She's doing some amazing things and bright shining star. Oh my gosh, you guys, bright shining star. So I'm so glad to have her here. She has a background in TV, film, and really been able to take that skill set and transition that over to mortgage. And it has made her just a star in her business. So welcome. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much, Paige. Thanks for having me and for the beautiful introduction. And I'm so happy that not only did I know you before, like going on 10 years, and
That's
that we
crazy,
get to,
right?
Yes, and then cross paths again, and then collaborate.
Yeah.
And then retreat, and then learn. And I'm just like, oh, this is perfect. This is perfect. Yeah. And what you were saying is like the collaboration. You know, I noticed last year, you just really blew up. Like, I mean, either you started advertising that you blew up, but there was this shift that I've noticed in you, and I started watching your stories. And so I want what you have. And then you had mentioned your tribe has been a difference. So I'm excited to share what I know, and I'm excited to hear at the event, just all of us collaborate together. And just from speaking with you offline, you know, thank you so much for your gems, and I'm really excited to be here. So thank you.
Yes, I am too. And yeah, there was a big shift that happened about a year ago. I had a transition that had happened the year before that left a space in my life for a different circle to surround me. And with that foundation of other women in this industry, I mean, that was like, there was just something real special about having somebody that does what I do, That's another woman that knows when to cheer me on. They know when to listen to me. They were my sounding board and like my sanity last year. And so having that support system, I was able to really step even further outside of my comfort zone and really go for it. And so there was like this, all right, let's go. And so knowing that, wanting to bring that now to everybody else here in our industry. So why don't you share with people a little bit about your background in TV film and how you're now in mortgage, and you were in mortgage and now you're back, and share all of that, and then we'll get into our life lessons.
Okay, so actually I started in mortgage right out of high school. So straight from Baskin Robbins to Bank of America, swear to God. And from there I worked in the mortgage division, but on the servicing side for a couple of years, and even worked with subprime, they called it at the time, subprime mortgages. And I was going to go back into, I was going to not back, but I was going to go into loan origination. And there was a side of me that really wanted to get my degree still. And I'm like, okay, I know I wanted to be a broadcast journalist. Either I start making money in real estate right now and never go back to school, or I go back and, that little itch, right? Itch the itch. So I went to school and graduated in communications and business. And then started working in Los Angeles, and it took a while to break into Los Angeles. As a matter of fact, I didn't move around. I got all kinds of offers to be anchors all out of the state, but I bought a house in 2006, right before the bubble burst. And I'm like, look, I can't walk away from this house. I can't lose everything. So made it happen. Finally, got my break after several years, and was in television as a producer, started behind the camera, then TV host, did a little bit of hard news, and even commercials. So that was fun. But as I mentioned, it took a while to break in. So after I had my son, I was very busy. I was working at 3 different production companies with a little newborn at home. And I'm like, okay, I'm leaving my house at 4:00. I'm coming home at 10:00, depending on how many different programs that I'm working on that day. And it just didn't make sense. And so I'm like, okay, big crossroads. What am I going to do? So that's when I got back into mortgage. I was given an amazing opportunity to get back into mortgage, and worked at a credit union for almost a year, and then moved on to the brokerage, which was a huge shift with how many people I could support and help, just having way more solutions, right? The transition was tough. It was really difficult. And then I kind of found my way. I found my core collaborative partners that I was working with, and it wasn't easy. Took almost 2 years to okay, this is it. This is for sure. This is what I'm doing, full blown. And then as marketing started to get more important, Instagram videos, lives, reels, and all that stuff, I'm like, okay, let me figure out how to use this to showcase my ability to support my referral collaborative partners, show listings, homes for sale, and then obviously drop some education. And I've been doing that lately. Decided to rebrand late last year and launch a podcast. And here I am. So it's been a journey.
Yeah, I love how, a lot of times when we're going through our life, we don't know what skills are going to end up doing what, but you took everything that you had learned through your higher education in TV film, and it all builds on one another and bringing that to this. And that's what I love about, and what we do and being self-employed and in the broker community is one, it can provide you a tremendous amount of freedom. So if you're a mom with littles and being able to make that happen, but being able to leverage your skills that carve you out uniquely you. I mean, it's different than, how I show up in social. You're going to show up different, but, really relying on those skills. And so I think, that's a really great thing for people to learn, is that everything you do through life, nothing, and this is not reflective of you, I'm just saying for myself, I've done other projects where I was it didn't hit how I thought it was going to hit. I had previous stints in network marketing, and I was always okay, well, it didn't really blow up like I thought it was. But that's where I honed a lot of this craft of showing up online and all that kind of stuff. And then it's I just brought all of that, and I learned, now I put it into place, and then this is where it hit. And thank God mortgage is a high ticket item. So it provides a really good life. So grateful for that. So let's share with people I know you said you're going through a rebrand. What were you experiencing before? What prompted that? What are these lessons that you're learning right now for you going forward?
So, I noticed that people don't really know the brokerage that I work for.
Yeah.
When I'm referred, they're referring my name,
Yeah.
right? It's my name, right? It's not that I'm at this large bank, right? It's talk to Chenine. She has solutions. She can figure it out for you. And so I'm like, you know what? Like, yes, of course. I work for a brokerage, and I have my license there, but my last name has loan in it. And I'm like, how am I not playing on that? You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I really have to play, the loan in my name. And it actually, people do remember that. They'll tell me, oh, can't do loan without Lozano, can't spell loan without Lozano. I'm like, see, you remembered, it worked, right? So I said, you know what, the brand, like, I just need to brand my name. Let me get my socials going. Let me make sure that like my name, people easily remember my name, even though it's unique. They can easily remember at least the Lozano part,
Right.
And so I decided to do that last year, and then decided to be more consistent with posting on social media, because there was a point in time, I didn't have time to breathe. Like, it was like, oh my God, like, how am I going to have time to even jump online or create a piece of content and whatnot, and also, knowing when to ask for support, because there's that whole like, if you want to get it right, you got to do it yourself. You know what I mean? And so I started to let go a little bit. Personal development. I'm glad you mentioned network marketing and both of us. That's how we met, actually.
Yep.
And even then, even though it wasn't the result that I wanted at the time, what did I learn? I learned personal development. I learned accountability. I learned to read 15 pages a day, right? And you know what I mean? And I'm just like, this is great. Everything that I went through, because I remember telling you at the beginning of the conversation about a transition. And part of that transition was being in network marketing and in there. So I'm glad I had that. But with the rebrand, I'm understanding now to, because now it's like, okay, when you write a review, don't write it for my brokerage, because that doesn't follow me. Write it for me, because I'm the one that supported you. You know what I mean? So let's get my Google page going and all of that good stuff. So I'm really intentional with doing that. So that happened, and it's going really well.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this live or replay, there is a big piece of marketing advice in there. You don't ever want to brand your company. It is, if you own it, maybe, but if you do not own it, if you work under an umbrella of somebody else, you want to brand you. Why? Because you may not stay there. Like, I work for my mom. I'm always gonna be here, but nobody knows where I work. Like, they don't even know the name of the company. They know me, because people don't buy into a company. Like, they're not, like, if your picture on your profile is a logo, you need to change that, because people don't connect with a logo. They connect with you. And so branding yourself is like the biggest ticket. So everything shifts. It's like, you're not like, I don't care what the corporate company puts out as marketing. I'm putting my face and my name on a flyer, because I want them to remember me. Now let's talk about this, because this happens. I mean, I don't know if men go through the same thing, but as women, this happens for us, is you got to be front and center. You're going to be the star of the show. What happens here?
It's so interesting. I actually was telling my husband right before I was going to do my rebrand, and not rebrand. It was actually just my personal brand launch. It wasn't even a rebrand, because I didn't have a brand before, right? And even though I had a background in television, I was going nuts. I straight up had imposter syndrome. I'm like, it's going to change the way my day looks. It's going to change the way my week looks. How am I going to implement this into my business? What if people start trolling me? Like, I started to freak out, and I have experience in front of the camera, and I was freaking out. Right.
Yeah.
So I understand, what everybody goes through before they do it. Like, who am I? Like, what can I possibly have to offer? It's like, you know what? What's your story? Who are you, a runner? And talk about your running, and that's your community. You know what I mean? Like, whatever you do, that is uniquely you. That is what people resonate for. And then the fact that you're skilled in mortgage, chef's kiss, right? Yeah. So for me, I was actually really more worried about the logistical side. And, we often forget that we are the experts. People don't know what we talk about all day long. Just because I know it like the back of my hand, people are so excited just to learn simple things. You know what I mean? And it's not simple to them because it's not what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the information that we all have to give is very interesting to people. And even though we might think it's mundane and it's boring, people want to understand how things work. And you may give a gem where people might believe that they may not qualify for a certain amount, or they don't think that they can get an investment property because they simply don't know what's out there for them. So if we just have a story, I love your stories and how you solve problems, or a video that states like, you know what, like, it's not bragging. It's like, this is my client's win, right? I just happen to be at the backbone of it. Share it.
Yeah.
Share it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I share a lot of like just day to day in mortgage, and mortgage is by no means like real entertaining. Numbers, it's just a bunch of numbers and stuff like that. And it's puzzles. So it's like, how do you make the puzzle work? But there's a lot of times in my day to day business, there's like a life lesson that I'm like, oh my God, if you knew. And that's, from doing so much personal development, it's like I recognize, when a client is, stepping over dollars to pick up pennies, it's like, oh, well, where do we all do that in our regular life, or law of attraction. And they're like, well, I don't want to do this until that. And I'm like, we need to have a whole conversation over be, do, have. Like, there's so many just life lessons in working with my clients. And so for me, that's what I share, because I wish I had a hobby, but I don't. I just do loans and I'm a mom and I don't know. So, but like, if you have a hobby, like Chenine was like, you share your life with people. So I was telling my sister, I was like, dude, you love to golf. I'd be like talking about mortgages as we walk the golf course, and like, I don't know, watch me try to hit this thing. And then how do I relay some message of the day to people through what I'm doing? Because how do you carve yourself? Like, if you saw both Chenine and I, and we both do mortgage and we both going to share like mortgage advice, like mortgage is mortgage. But how do you know the difference between us? And it's who we are and how we show up. And so being able to show up authentically you, so people can even discern the difference between us. And some people are going to resonate with Chenine, and some people will resonate with me. And when they don't, that is a blessing. Like we were talking about this last night, how when you are in our business, like it's tough sometimes when like you lose a client, or sometimes we have partners where we feel like, I always feel like I'm sacrificing because we don't want to lose, and we're like holding on so tightly to them. But we miss out on like what God, spirit, universe wants to bring us, because we're holding so tight onto what we have. And so there's a blessing when like partners go, business goes, because it creates that space for the right perfect match for us to come. I know we were talking about that last night about partners and stuff. And, I think we've all kind of been through that period of time. So why don't you share, like, and when because I know you work directly with real estate agents, how's that been? How do you select people you want to work with? What are some gems that you can sprinkle onto our audience today?
So I've been very, very blessed with working with agents that have a collaborative and team mindset. So if something goes sideways, it's actually not my fault, right? We can we can actually we could do things. So sometimes it could be, an oversight, right? You know what I mean? But that doesn't happen very often with a good account executive, right? Yeah. So when something goes sideways, the agents that I've worked with, I always present solutions to them before I say this is the problem. I'll say this was what happened, and here's how we navigate. So I've been really blessed to actually have some really fantastic referral partners. I like to call them collaborative because I love to, give back and give them a platform by doing events with them, by doing, podcasts, and, figuring out ways to drum up business together. And so what's interesting is that the agents that I work with that are repeat agents and fantastic, it really started with a true, we know each other. Like we know each other. We have this friendship. One of my top agents that I work with, I actually was friends with his fiance first. And then we knew of each other for a long time. And then once I got into mortgage, he knew me as, Chenine from here. And then now he has to know me from Chenine as the mortgage expert. Right.
Yeah.
And then after just knocking a couple out of the park, he gained my trust. And when an agent says, or a referral partner, regardless if it's an agent or not, is able to say, I have more business because of you, I mean, that's like the best compliment ever. When someone can just do more because you're able to offer more solutions, you have yourself a loyal person, because you're just there to really cultivate their business as well. And so that's been really key for me, is working so well with people. And my personality wise, obviously if they feel that you're doing right for their client, like I'm beyond fair. I always put myself in the client's shoes. I'm a little too nurturing at times, but I think that's been like the key, and being a woman in mortgage as well. I hear you talk about masculine and feminine at times, and sometimes that feminine side, it's like, I know Chenine is patient, or I know Chenine can explain to my analytical client, or I know that Chenine can explain to a person that is scared. You know what I mean? It's like, also being a broadcast journalist, it's like, I can explain to you exactly what's happening as simply or as complex as you like. So being able to match, language as well is really important. That type of soft skill is really important. So I don't really have necessarily a secret sauce, but I have been intentional about the quality of people that I work with, and making sure that they see me as a team member and not somebody that I gave you a referral, perform, monkey. Like, no. And if you do treat me that way, we're never working it again. We're never working again. I don't care.
Yeah. I love, like, if you guys are out there and you're like, I want to grow realtor partners, a great way, like she was saying, was she has a podcast, and just we're going to take this, just pull back just a second. So when you work with people that have the same target market, you both exponentially grow your sphere of influence synergistically, right? So when you're looking at who do I feature on my podcast, find somebody as same ideal client, because that's a really good match for you. And also in that elevation of somebody else, like, you grow yourself as an expert. I could sit here, not even being in this industry, and do this live stream series, and people would automatically, because I'm being the interviewer, they automatically will think that I know what I'm talking about. Now, it happens that I do know what I'm talking about here, but I didn't even have to. So if you're brand new in this industry and you're wondering, like, what do I do? Start carving yourself out as an expert. That requires you putting yourself front and center, get your name on flyers and in your business, and create some content to highlight somebody else. If you don't know what you're doing just yet, when you do that, psychologically, you're cutting yourself out as an expert. Now, Chenine already, of course, she is skilled, so that's going to be amazing. But there's also just this really beautiful way you can organically build your expertise and your sphere of influence to bring more people into your business. So I love that. Oh, I love how you said your name right there. I just noticed that you spell your name like Loan. I love that.
Yes,
You guys
girl.
can't see it, but it looks super cute. It definitely stands out. So I like that branding. All right. So let's talk about going forward in your business. What do you plan on doing in the new year? Or not the new year, the rest of this year?
I cannot believe it's going to be Q3.
Yeah.
Like,
You know
well,
what's crazy?
what?
Is I'm like, in my head, and side note, this does not have anything to do with anything here. I'm like, it's already June. Like, it's like, what is it? May 15th. I'm like, it is June. And like your brain, like it felt like January was like real slow. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be forever. And now I'm like, oh Lord, slow down. So yeah, talk about where you're going for the rest of the year in your career.
This is really interesting, and this is actually a loaded question, so I'll try to compact this as much as possible.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was building a team, so I could step away and focus on meeting with people, income producing activities, all of that good stuff. Okay. So what happened is that I wasn't feeling my best, and the team did not perform during that time, and made things exponentially harder for me when I came back from my medical leave. Left my business in ruins. All right.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's a bit, that's a bit much, but me trying to clean up the mess that they made just took up so much of my time. And so now I'm like, you know what? Actually, back to the basics. If I don't post every day, it's not the end of the world. If I'm slowing down to go faster, sweet. So I've been working on automations. looking at, working on getting my CRM super dialed in, looking at like honoring the people that have referred me people, and like, like, how do I go back, like literally just back to the basics. And to be quite frank, I've never really been in sales. I don't go off of scripts. I don't like, let me just, hit this list of referral partners and all, I never really been that way. But I actually took a coaching program, and you'll appreciate this. It's very masculine, very masculine. I already invested in it. There's nothing I can do about it. Right. And it's very masculine. Yeah. I'm like, wow, this is really interesting. Let me take this information and make it me,
Yeah.
And what I'm doing now is I'm being way more intentional with blocking, right? Because I was reactive. I was trying to manage a team. I was reacting to them. I was reacting to the buyers with the loans. I was reacting to the meetings I needed to be at so my goal has been to be more proactive. How do I drive my business in a way that I want to drive? What if I want to take a Friday off? Why not? I'm my own boss. Why can't I just go shopping at Costco on a Tuesday? It's like, because I simply didn't plan for it. Okay. I plan my schedule. And so that's what I'm going to do moving forward. It's like, so, being intentional with my time blocking, like on Mondays, I do this. Let me just stack all my meetings, because I know if I'm going to be in meetings all day long, there's no way I'm going to be behind my computer. So just stack my meetings, stack my phone calls, stack my projects. If I know that I'm just going to be behind my computer setting up something that's allowing more automation for me, nothing else. That's what I'm doing that time. So I'm being more hyper focused on this is my time for, this is my time to, hunt, gather, projects. And I hate those words, by the way, it just kind of came out. But, just, what I'm saying? Just, you understand what I'm saying in regards to blocking the activities,
One of us. Oh, Chenine's come back. You're back. You went a little sideways, but I love, there's so much that you just said. Like, first off, sometimes we have to have things fall apart and clear that space out for us to take us where we need to go. Because I don't know about you. I usually don't willingly go anywhere. Like, I don't willingly do that stuff. And so for me, often transition and what takes me to the next level in my business and in my life, often for me comes through loss. And it's God clearing the space, because I'm not willing to give up something. Like, I'm like holding on to what I have. We talked about this earlier. So God will come in and be like, we're clearing the slate for you. And it feels like loss. And I've learned over the years it is for me, a practice in spirituality and belief system that something better is happening, and life is unfolding in my way. Right. And like, God is taking me here. Like, I know something bigger and better is happening in my life when that happens. And so when it happens, I can a little bit easier let go and, allow surrender into the moment and allow for things to unfold for me. And so that was like the first thing that I like saw, where you were like, oh, I started a team, and then everything was like gone. And it was like, you're not going there. Okay. Sometimes we got to be forced. We're like, you going this way. And then allowing that time right now to, set up those basics, because when we're in our winning season, that's not where we're growing. That's not where we implement the systems, or we learn a new skill to grow our business or grow who we are, because we on top. There's no reason. Like, we just like stay right here. Like, keep this going. We're just trying to keep up. But it's in those little times where we have that space where like business might pull back. That's where we prep for the next winning season. And so, it's like I'm prepping for my winning season, right? And so I love all of that you're talking about. So you're coming to the event in October. So excited to spend some time with you. And, the event, just so if you guys don't know, it's a 3-day event in Austin. It's going to be a smaller, it's not big room. We're going to do maybe 50, 75 women so that we can spend time with one another. Not only are you going to have amazing speakers really covering tangible, tactical things that you can bring back to your business, you're going to gain the networking connection that we need for success and opportunities to come your way. So tell me, what are you most excited about for that event?
I'm really excited about getting what you have because I noticed that you have an amazing group of women. I see you, flying out and, partnering, and you just got a short-term rental with, your friend. Is it Cheryl or?
Yeah, Cheryl. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, wow, this is great. I saw the collaboration. Like I said, I noticed the shift in your business, and, I listened to your stories, and, I hear how you have, going back to what you're saying about like being able to let go of certain things. And, it's having that abundance mindset. I've had to push and trudge through 2023. It felt like, like to close the volume that I did last year, I was like, dang, that is so offensive because I worked so hard, right? And there's all, it's really for me like releasing resistance and having this collaboration. I am the only female in my brokerage, and there is no such thing as collaboration. It is all you bring whatever deal that you have, and they get a piece of it, and I'll see you next time when you come to, have an event or get your check, So, and this is how it is. Like, no knock on anybody, it's just how it is. And then it's like, you know what, if I have women that I can collaborate with, if I have someone that's a sounding board, if I can exchange ideas, looking at the fact that you're also an investor, so am I, right? Like I want to be around women that are doing the damn thing, and, also give idea with balance. It is known to be a masculine industry. And being a mother and a wife in this industry, it's not easy. It's hard to disconnect at times. It's hard to just be fully present when you're self-employed, because it feels like if I don't know where my next loan is coming from, I have to answer the phone. But it's like, really, it's like, I like what you have. You know what I mean? Where you're just like, less effort, more abundance.
More money, less effort.
Yeah, it'll come, and I had that little mini breakthrough yesterday with what you were saying. It's like, hey, I'm more than willing to let go of a deal if someone wants me to cut my comp, because I know it's something else is going to come better. That's not going to take my time. And I just experienced that recently where I had someone that was, I dropped my comp. He was fully aware of it. Saved him. I think it was like, I don't know, a quarter, right? And it was pretty nice of me, right? And he ended up, altering my day during funding day. He actually just, like, my Aura ring showed my stress level for literally all day due to this client. And I was like, gosh, I just should have said no. Like, I don't know how much time he took off my life today, and during the whole entire process. And, just speaking with you yesterday allowed me to take away something where I'm just like, I could have just walked away just having that abundance mindset. So, I'm excited to just have these gems be collected with like-minded women.
You want to know what shit, like, I had this like thing happen in my brain, because it's really easy sometimes, like, you're like, oh, okay, well, you want me to cut my comp by a quarter. Okay, fine. If, like, let's say it's $2,500. Let's pretend, I don't even know if that's what it would be. I don't know, but let's just pretend it's $2,500. All right. So it's easy for me to be like, fine, cut it a quarter, because I have not earned that money yet. But if I had to write you a check for $2,500, that would feel more like catastrophic. I would be like, I would think twice. Right. Because I haven't earned the money yet. So it's real easy to be like, well, can I, instead of earning 10,000, can I earn 75? Yeah, sure. Okay. Right. But it's like, if I had to write that check to you and send it to you, I would think twice. That would absolutely not. And it's like learning that not everybody's a good fit for you, and that's okay. And there are people out there that work at your price point. If you need to find them, that is okay. And there are clients out there for me that pay me my full comp and gladly pay it. Like their investment in me is an investment in them. So they gladly pay it. And so, it's like that law of attraction of what are you looking to attract into your business, and then putting that out there, and so I'm so excited to continue the series and for the event, because these are the gems that we're going to be dropping the whole time.
I'm excited. And also it feels like a retreat, as well. Like, not only are we there to collaborate, connect, learn from the best, and make, and network, it's like you're also there to restore. And that's important too. It's like, I'm learning that this year. It's like, you know what, I have to restore in order to continue to do what I do, because if I'm running myself ragged, I'll just sit here and be unproductive, because I'm not all here, so there's been a lot of that shifting lately, is, let me take care, put my mask on, my life mask on first, right? And then everything else will follow. So there's just been a lot the past, 6 months to a year, where it's, I'm continually shifting, and now is definitely the time. And so I'm really excited. Thank you so much for putting together this platform.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're going. I'm glad that you showed up today. And there is going to be a ton of time at the event. If you want to take a nap, if you want to hang out by the pool, we're going to have parties. We're going to have it all, because I don't know about you too. It's like, gosh, when we work so hard in business and then we go to events to further move my business forward, it's like, then I feel bad taking just a vacation too. So it's like, how do I wrap that all up? Where like, I need to have the event because I need this and I need the network, but I also want to take a nap. Also hang out at the pool. So
I'm all in, girl. Like, this day, you didn't have to. I was like, okay, how do I get to this? So
you want to know what my next big thing? I don't know if I'm gonna do it this year. I might do it next year in my business, is to get a membership at a day spa, and like make that part of like, where are you working? This is what I love about what we do, is you can work from anywhere. Where are we working today? I'm gonna go work at Glen Ivy. Like, I don't know about you guys, but you're gonna find me working at the pool today, and like learning how to like embrace, that, and bring more fun and bring more satisfaction and joy into my business, instead of like, a lot of times we try to separate out our life into like my work life and my whatever life, and like, how do I bring more joy and happiness and enjoyment into my business? So that is my next piece. All right. Well, where can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram, Chenine Lozano, Facebook as well. So I have business and personal. So I have a Facebook business page under my name. And then my business is, so just Chenine Lozano, it'll pop up. So go on Instagram and you'll find me. And then there's a link on there to my other platforms as well. And then I'm on Build Me Up podcast. So there's a link in there for my podcast, which is geared towards, Build Me Up is it's cool because we are dedicated towards beginning investors in real estate all the way to the seasoned investors, and the guests that we have on. We like to share about the mindset part. So like the whole Build Me Up, like, how did you get past the fear? Who did you mentor with? How, just basically just getting to the next step, taking that leap. So we touch on that, as well as like, the strategy. So really love Build Me Up. So we're also on YouTube with no spaces, just Build Me Up, all connected together. And so, would love to connect.
Yeah. We'll go ahead and, I don't know where we're posting this thing, but
we'll figure it out.
Whenever we figure it out, we'll drop in links so you guys can go follow Chenine, listen to her podcast, do all of that, connect with her on socials. So much of, if you're in the industry or, a possible client, what we do is a lot of times very isolating. And so having that, like, I always ask, like, who are you running with? And being able to curate that pack of women that we're really running for, I hate to say achievement, but we're really trying to have an impact and do bigger and better in our lives, but we need each other to do that. And so I'm so excited and happy to have you on this journey with me. And next week, we're going to have a brand new episode. My friend Cheryl is going to be here next week. So super excited about that. And we're going to be rolling out for the time being until the event. So if you guys haven't gotten your tickets, go get your tickets for notoriouswmn.com, October 13th through the 16th in Austin. And I don't know, catch us next Wednesday at noon here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I don't know where we're going to be, but come find us. And with that, we'll catch you next time.
Thank you, Paige. Thanks,
Bye.
everybody. Bye.